Alright, welcome back. Today we're going to do a quick video on how to do multiplication, specifically using the Gelosia method. Now, there's various different methods of actually working out how to do long multiplication manually. For example, there's the grid method, there's just the normal column method, and now the method that I want to focus on is Gelosia. Now, personally, I think that this is probably one of the more useful ones, especially when it comes to longer numbers, because the issue that I've had with the grid method is that it can be a bit tedious and it can be quite confusing for longer numbers when you need to work out how many zeros there are for place value, etc. Whereas with the Gelosia method, sometimes referred to as a Chinese method, the biggest issue is literally just drawing boxes. But once you do it a few times, you get very, very used to it. Okay, so the way we're going to do this is let's try a question which is, let's say, 35 times 287. Okay, let's do it without any decimals, and then the next one is going to be with decimals. Now, like I said, the hardest part with the Gelosia method is how do you actually draw this into a structure to help you work out the answer. Now, the way that I do it is I write down the digits 3, 5 with a bit of space in between them, then I times, and then underneath it I write down the second number, so 287, and I'm leaving space all the way in between the entire time. 287. I'm going to draw a nice big box all the way outside, and between each number or each sign I'm going to have columns and rows. So 2 there and there. Okay, now finally what you're going to do is, if I could zoom out a bit, from each corner, okay, from each corner you want to go from the top right hand corner all the way to the left hand corner, and then when you get to the edge of a box you want to extend it, just a bit of a kick there. So for example, from there to there and a bit of a kick, from there to there, from there to there and a bit of a kick, there, there and a bit of a kick, there, there and a bit of a kick. Okay, so when you get to the edge right over here, just extend it slightly. Now, these are going to be the arena where you actually work out your answers. And the reason why I like this method is because you're essentially, all you're doing is just multiplying 2 times one digit numbers, okay, or two one digit numbers. And the way you do that is, let's say I'm doing this bit, so 5 times 2, okay, you're going to put your answer inside here, okay, underneath the 5 column and beside the 2 row. Okay, so if I could just get rid of that. So you do 5 times 2. Now 5 times 2 is 10. So inside this particular box, you have got a top half and a bottom half. On the top half, if it's a 2-digit answer, you write down the top number. And if it's a 1-digit answer, okay, you're going to just put it underneath here. Okay, so think of the top part as a tens and the bottom part as a unit. Okay, so 10 would go 1 and a 0. Okay, 3 times 2 would be a 6. So a 6 is just one digit. So I'm going to put 6 on the bottom right hand corner here. What about 5 times 8? So 5 times 8 is, whoops, there times there. What am I going to do? So 5 times 8 is 40. It's a 2-digit answer. So 4 and a 0. 3 times 8 is 24. Put a 2 and a 4. 3 times 7 is 21. Apologies, not too neat. Okay. 5 times 7 is 35. Now I've multiplied all the numbers. Now all you need to do is, starting from the bottom right hand corner here, okay, ignore the original numbers on the side. I want you to add the numbers diagonally. Okay, so starting from here, that's the only diagonal. The next one is there, the next one is there, the next one is there. Okay, and starting from the bottom right hand corner, I want you to add all the diagonals there. So 5 plus 0 is 5. 0 plus 3 plus 1 is just a 4. And you're going, as you can see, I'm putting the answers on the outside in between those extra lines there. So 0 plus 4 is 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. Now, if I was doing a normal column method addition, okay, if it's a two-digit answer, I write down the units. So in this case, 10 would be a 0. And then I carry over the 1. Exact same concept applies. So I just carry over the 1. And 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. And plus this extra 1 is a 10. Now, because there's no other digits here, I can just write down the full 10. So therefore, that gives me an answer of everything here. All right, so that would be 10045. So 10,045. Now let me just double check this. So 35 times 287 would be, so 35 times 287 would be 10,045, which is exactly what I've got. Okay, now this might seem quite long, and actually I've slowed it down considerably compared to how I usually do it. All right, but let's give you a chance. So I'm gonna give you a question. I'm gonna give you I'm gonna stop talking for 5 seconds, but you can pause the video and I want you to try it out yourself. Okay, so let's give you a 3 by 3 digit question. So for example, 789 times 231. So you can pause the video here and answer the question. Otherwise, I'm going to start talking in 5 seconds time. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in the speed that I usually do it at, just to give you an idea of how quickly I'm expecting it to be done. Okay, and just so you can see it is actually feasible to do it when you're doing an exam or just when you're doing it quickly. Okay, so 789, I'm going to try and talk my way through it. So 789 times 231. I'm going to draw a big box on the outside. I'm drawing my columns in between each number and my rows in between each number. And what do I have to remember to do? The extra diagonals, so diagonal, diagonal, and a kick at the end. Diagonal, 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 kick. Whoops, that's very messy. Diagonal, 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 diagonal. Okay, so let me try and work this out. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 1 is 9. So one digit answer. I'm just going to put a 9 on the bottom right hand corner. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 1 is 8. Just a one digit number on the bottom right hand corner. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 1 is 7. Now, I'm going to add. Where do I start adding from? Bottom right hand corner here. So all the diagonals there. Alright, and let me just use a different colored pen. Use a nice pink. So 9 plus nothing is a 9. 7 plus 8 is 15. So write down the 5, carry the 1. And ideally, write down the carried over number, the 1, just a bit smaller, just so you don't get confused. Okay, so 7 plus 4 is 11, plus 2 is 13, 13 plus 8 is 21, plus the 1 over here, I'm going to write 2, carry the 2. 1 plus 6 is 7, 7 plus 2 is 9, 9 plus 1 is 10, plus the 2 is 12, so write it 2, carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5, 5 plus 2 is 7, 7 plus 1 is 8, whoops. 8, and then one more left, just a 1 over here. So that means my answer is 182259. Okay, so let me just double check my answer. What was the question? 789 times 231. So 789 times 231, which is 182259. 182259. Now, just one last example, this time with decimals. Okay, so let's try with I'm gonna try it with a 0 point number, okay, as well as a larger decimal number as well. So let's say 0.42 times 78.3. Okay, let's try that. Okay, just to give you an idea as to how it works with decimals as well as with 0 point numbers. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to first write down the numbers exactly as they are. Don't worry about the decimals just yet. I'm going to draw a big box all the way around. I'm going to draw my columns and rows. Remember, it's in between each number, okay, or each sign. So in this case, between the 2 and the x as well. And I'm going across, so between the times and the 7, between the 7 and the 8, and so on. So there, there, there. And now do the diagonals, so corner, kick when you get to the end. Corner, corner, kick. Corner, 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 kick. Corner, corner, kick. Corner, kick. Okay, now notice that I haven't put in any decimals. Where was the decimal in my original question? 0.42 is right here and 78.3 is right there. Okay, now I'm going to just put it out there straight away. Where does my decimal go in my answer? What you want to do is focus on where the decimals are and think about if those two were to meet, where would they meet? Where would those two decimals, if they were to follow these horizontal and vertical lines, where would they meet? Now, hopefully you can see that both of them will meet here, right there. Okay, and if that is the case, as I've been doing with all of them, I've been following diagonals. From here, the diagonal is right here. So that means if I go to where the answers are, my answer should have a decimal right here. Okay, so again, just think about where the decimals would have met up if I was going horizontally and diagonally. Okay, and this is what you get. So your decimal would be right here. Okay, obviously your one's not going to be as messy as mine, but just to help you out. So now let's start working it out. So 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 3 is a 6. So I'm just going to put 6 on the bottom right hand corner. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 3 is 12. 0 times 7 is 0. Just don't need to write anything down. 0 times 8 is 0. 0 times 3 is 0. Alright, so starting now to add up from the bottom right hand corner. I'm going to just clearly mark out for you where the diagonals are. So starting from the bottom right hand corner, 6 plus nothing is 6. 2 plus 6 is an 8. 0 plus 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 4 is another 8. 0 plus 0 plus 3 plus 8 is 11. Plus 1 is 12. So 2, carry the 1, small 1 over there. 2 plus nothing is a 3. And finally 0 is on the top left hand corner. Nothing there. So therefore that means my answer is 32 point. So that's where this point comes in. 0.886. So let's double check my answer. 0.42 times 78.3 is 32.886. Whoops. 32.886 right there. Okay, so hopefully that helps.